got down to 7 degrees last night. And all I had was this guy running, and it has been running. I can tell that it's warm. But I'm gonna fire up the little torpedo heater and then build a fire. You can see the lights are still dim and kind of shaking a little bit. Get this place heated up and run these through the saw, and I think I'm gonna do the end one here. Stain these. For first I gotta wire brush the whole thing. That. Okay, when that happens, there we go. Big scoop. A lot of you are probably thinking to yourself, well, congratulations, you just spent 5 hours on making a 2x8. And that's exactly what this thing looks like. But it is a near perfect 2x8, and it is not kiln dried like a 2x8 you would get at Home Depot or Lowe's. This is air dried for 1 year, and that makes it more stable. Especially when working with it. If you get framing lumber from Lowe's or Home Depot and say a 2x8, it is kiln dried, but it's still pretty wet and there's a lot of stress in the wood. So this is what it started out as. 1 3/4 inches thick, and this down here is what it turned out to be. It looks exactly, even at, especially after I put that rounded edge on there, it looks exactly like a 2x8. This board and this board are now cut to their finished length. They got the rounded edge, and the next thing I'm going to do is do that distressing technique where you take this wire wheel and you're kind of scratching out the soft wood in between the growth rings, and then I'll be staining it and going from there. I'm looking at the picture and looking at my 4 different stains, and after doing that weathering thing, I think in between the grain is going to show up darker. So I'm actually going to go with my lighter one. Whatever. How do you pronounce that? Provinical 210. But I am going to add a dash, just a little bit of some dark walnut. Well, mainly because I don't have much of this, and I don't know if I've got enough to do the whole thing. I'll have to check my stash in the other room there. But this is the stain we're going with, and I don't know if you can see, but it is this one here. And again, I'll show you that picture. Of course, like I said, this is all going to get whitewashed. So that's the stain color right there. But like I said, this is the edge of the bed, and I'm going to connect this is the headboard, and the footboard are also whitewashed on the edges. So I would want the rails to be whitewashed as well. It would look weird to have, well, maybe it wouldn't look weird, but having this tie straight into that. Anyways, I'm going to do a light whitewashing on it. Oh, by the way, it's New Year's Eve day. No, Christmas Eve day. So Merry Christmas. This video probably won't come out till sometime in January. This is about exactly the color that I want, so I'm not gonna wipe it. And since I scraped out so much with the wire wheel, this will all absorb perfectly into the wood. I'm going to even it out though, just in case I had some heavy spots. So this is the weathered look. You can see the grains are all really pronounced. Now the inside is not exposed, but still has the same stain on it and the same amount of stain on it. And get a close up, you can see this is smooth as can be. And the whitewash is going to be on this board here, on this face here, and the top edge. I'm using some Latex Kills primer, mainly because I don't want too much of the stain to bleed through and give me a brownish white. I do need some white on the actual wood. Using a disposable, really cheap brush. So I'll dip it in here, and then I'll go on this scrap piece of firewood to get most of the paint off, and then I'll start making some strokes. And I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to do this scrap piece, and this is a test piece for stain that has had the weathered wood technique applied to it. Until I get my system down in the color that I want, and then I will move over to doing those boards. Okay, what do you think? Did I get it? Trying to get that glare out of there. So you're looking at the right side of the phone screen. Not too much white, not too dark, kind of sporadic. If you're new to the channel, then I should tell you that I'm a big fan of Sherwin-Williams Sherwood lacquer. I use the cab acrylic a lot, and this one here is just a high build lacquer. This has got a satin finish, and I think it's gonna look real good on this. I'll start off by doing the back sides, the sides that people will never see unless they're disassembling the bed. Get that done, dried, and then flip over and do the finished side. So I can take this off. I also spray almost everything with this Finish Max Extra, the HomeRite Finish Max Extra, and I'll leave a link to this spray gun in the description. But I better put this on. Oh, another thing I always like to mention, what pods I use or cartridges. This is the 60923. It's an organic filter. Definitely need it when you're spraying lacquer. I'll be honest, I'm not sure how the lacquer is going to react with the paint. Hopefully it doesn't turn like yellow or something. So I'm very happy. After the first coat, everything looks just like it was before I put it on. Leave the door open for somewhere around 5 minutes. gets all this overspray kind of vented out. Then I'll close it, and I still have heat pumping in here. It's probably 71 degrees in here right now. And I'll do it all again for 3 coats of lacquer, and then it'll be done until I get the brackets on there.